What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Soulblaze YouTube channel. I am your boy Soulblaze, back at it again for LET. This is week 7. As you can see, we are not live with a battle this time, and it breaks my heart. So let me explain. In what is possibly one of my best live commentaries of all time, in my opinion, in terms of energy, in terms of enthusiasm, and just in terms of overall quality, I think this was one of my better live comms, because the battle is hype, and I felt like I made some really good comments in my live commentary. And I was really excited to show you guys this video. Lo and behold, by the time I'm done recording it and I'm watching it back, I realize, because of another project that I recorded at the time, right before this, I had to mute my microphone. And naturally, I forgot to ever unmute it. So here we are with the battle. You'll have in-game music and my post-com for it. And I will, instead of trying to, I'll explain some of my reactions, and I can kind of try and just give you the vibe of it. It's very early in the morning, so I'm not going to scream at the top of my lungs. But either way, I will try and make it not take away too much of the battle. So here we go. This is LET week 7. Let's get into it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys for being patient, and I hope you enjoy the video nonetheless. So as you can see, we have Enam, Rotom, Excadrill, Latios, Tera, and Entei. Right? And the Enamorous is Mirror Herb, because I predicted he has Tera Caesar, and instead of Terraing, I predicted that on a move such as Mystical Fire, he would switch into his Steam Engine Colossal to get the +6, outspeed me, and threaten me with a rock type move, or something that does a lot of damage, which I did not want to happen. And so I chose Mirror Herb, Cute Charm, so that when I proc Steam Engine, I also get this +6 speed boost. I outspeed him again, in which is Natural Order. And we can go for something like an Earth Power, because Colossal cannot Tera, and we can blow that thing out the water. And yeah, we have Spadef Rotom. We have a pretty standard Sword Stance, 3 attacks Excadrill. We have a Scarf Latios. We have quite a physically defensive T-Tar with Rocks and 3 attacks. And then for Entei, we just have Boots, Max Attack, Max Speed, Tera Electric for Vaporeon. As you can see in team preview, the Colossal is there, the Caesar is there, the Vaporeon is there, okay? So everything that I thought was coming here was definitely showing up. Noivern has the opportunity to Tera, and Caesar has the opportunity to Tera here into whatever typing they want, and there's no preview. So, yeah, we get into the battle, and we lead Colossal into Enamorous. Right? And I'm looking down at my notes, and I'm like, what's stopping me from how, doesn't Earth Power just one-shot this? Like, what happened here? Like, I can go a little bit back, and you guys get the better picture of it. Yeah, here we go. Look at my face. Look at my face. See, I'm looking down. Look at me. I'm looking down. I'm not looking at the screen right here. I'm looking at something else. Seeing that? Did you see what? Did you see that? One more time. Comes out. An Emrys comes out. Floats in the air with air balloon. And I'm looking away. I did not see that. That text appeared fast. I was looking at something else and I was thinking like, doesn't Earth Power just completely one-shot this? Am I missing something? Is it Sash and tries to OHKO me here? What am I missing? I don't get the memo. I don't see the air balloon. And so I click EP. Look at my reaction. Doesn't it... See? I say like, what? And I take a bunch of damage. I was like, what? Oh, he has to be air balloon. I just didn't see it. That's a huge choke. I absolutely choked it. And I do the responsible thing and I go into my T-Tar. Straight to the Zilla. Hell yeah, brother. Set up the sand, I give him a Spadef boost, but at the end of the day, who cares, man? I'm Fizdef. I'm not max Fizdef, but I'm quite Fizdef, I believe. And here, it's like, I think Stone Edge just straight up does like 85 to 95%, something like that, depending on his investment. But I wanted to knock off because I thought he would switch. It's that easy. I thought he would switch and preserve his air balloon, so I just knocked off. Turns out he just wanted rocks up, and that's fine. Because I have HDB on my Entei. So I decided to just kill this off. Get a crit on that Stone Edge. Did not see that either. That I got the crit on the Stone Edge. I think it just killed after a knockoff though, to be fair. Don't think that crit mattered. Not gonna lie to you, but we did get the kill. Oh, Nicolas! Goes out into Louis. Louis with the big drum. Louis with the tunes. Not a favorable matchup. I'm like, does he Woodhammer? Like, how much does a Woodhammer do? How much does a Grassy Glide do? How much does U-Turn do? How much does... Like, how much does the different things do? I was kind of figuring, like, I don't really switch that pretty into this thing, so I just thought I wanted rocks up. Turns out I got him on a predict. U-turns on me, predicting me to switch. So that's pretty good for me, not gonna lie, because now I get rocks up. And in terms of spinner, well, his spinner Colossal is dead. So now I just get rocks up for free. I'm not really... The sand is useful in this matchup, so it's... but it's not like I am cooked without sand. It's just nice for some chip and for potentially Excadrill to outspeed stuff like Noivern, etc. But it's not a must in the matchup. Yeah, as you can see, I was also, I believe I was Lefty's T-Tar there. At this league, you have to be one different item on each of your mons. I'm Heavy Duty Boots, Mirror Herb, Leftovers, Choice Scarf, Rindo Berry, and yeah, it was something on Excadrill there. Yeah, I was Lumberry, I think, on Excadrill. Yeah, so obviously I want to knock this thing off, get rid of the lefties, get some huge chip on it. Obviously I don't want this thing to sit around. Kills off the T-Tar, which is fine. Honestly, like, you go king. I get a free switch in here. The sand going away eventually is whatever. Yeah, you see I'm Lumberry on the Excadrill. I'm kind of contemplating, like, do I go in here? Tank is Scald, can't burn me with the Lum. Does this kill at, like, after a Swords Dance is what I'm trying to contemplate here. But it's not the play that I decide to go for, because with Enam being... This is what I'm talking about at this point in the game. With Enam being this low and misplaying turn 1, my Tera Fire is not going to be as useful because he still has the Tera availability on Caesar and it dies to Bullet Punch right now. So, and it's also, yeah, it just takes rocks as well. So what I decide to do is use Tera on my other Tera Captain to try and get rid of this thing right here, right now. Because I felt like that was a much better decision-wise, just because, like, Enam, after rocks, even if I Tera, just drops the BP, while Entei can turn this matchup on its head, going from a fire to an electric type, hitting this thing for super effective as my team struggles to hit it because I'm defensive Rotom, and we get it out the way, which is kind of huge. Vaporeon was a huge roadblock for this team. Kind of happy with spending Tera Electric to get it out the way. Really happy he didn't switch there, but then again, where do you switch? Because I'm not clicking Sacred Fire. I think he was like easily thinking he would take a hit and setting up a wish or whatever. Louis comes in and I calc one thing and one thing only. If it's Choice Scarf, it doesn't kill me with high horsepower. If it's Choice Band, I go first and need to land a Sacred Fire. It's that simple. He can't be Sash because I'm... or Sash doesn't work because of rocks. So I just need to land the Sacred Fire. There's no way he'll ever live unless he's a Akaberry. Yeah, and even if he's Scarf, I'm risking that, and then he doesn't kill me. Like, I live on red after a high horsepower Adamant Scarf, I believe. Something like that. Something like that. So Rillaboom is out the way. Like, I am livid about this Entei. Kills the Vaporeon with Tera Electric. Nukes and murders the Rillaboom with Sacred Fire. And it's still at full HP. Like, it's still out here doing the most. Clefable comes in. I'm ready to... At this point... The only thing is, like, don't let Clefable set up a billion times, and we're kind of good. We're kind of good. We're kind of gooch. So I think I just sit here and spam Sacred Fire, hoping for burns or just straight up damage, checking if it's physically invested or specially invested. Seems pretty physical, I would say. Sets up a wish to try and stall out Sacred Fires. Make sure it doesn't die. Maybe start going for some Calm Minds, you know, stuff like that. Definitely. You know, Clefable does Clefable things. Who would have fucking guessed? It is what it is. Alright. So, at this point, I make a prediction play. And I believe I head out straight to Enam because it's slow. And if he goes for a setup move, I copy it. I can try and get off some special damage because I believe it's physically invested. And I can try and do something with Enam, let it drop and come in clean. So it's kind of like Enam's last effort here. I have Sludge Bomb on it. We can get some huge damage. If it's unaware, we might even get a poison that can take him down. All that good stuff, man. Switch out Entei, preserve that thing for later. Not worried about it. Not worried about it. 10 HP. This easily drops to Bullet Punch, even if it's Starfire. There you go. Here comes the Calm Mind, which I predicted some sort of setup move. And look at me, man. I finally get hyped here. I'm like, yeah, give me that. Copy that. Yes, sir. Because now it's like I'm hitting him with a neutral Sludge Bomb, which is pretty good for me. He's going to have a hard time setting up more Calm Minds when I Hit him with a sludge bomb right here that does like 75,346. So he kills my Enam. I give him a diff there for that, which is fine at this point. Like, I don't... As long as I just stop this Calm Mind, I think the game is pretty sealed in the bag. So I'm just looking for ways to just disable this Clefable. Disable this Clefable is the game that we're talking about. And I'm still pretty hyped about this Entei, man. I think I prepped it really good for this matchup. I think I calc that Sacred Fire just takes it out. So yeah. I just click the Sacred Fire. We just, you know, knock on wood, we just have to hit it. And Entei gets another kill. Look at me, man. I'm screaming to the heavens for this one. I'm like, Entei, you beast! Oh, so hyped, man. So hyped. So this is Noivern, and coming in like this makes me want to believe it's going to terrestrialize into normal and click a boom burst, so I go straight into my specially defensive Rotom. Sadly, normal Tera boom burst is a 2-hit KO after rocks, but I don't really have any other switch anyway. So my only hope is that it's like, you know, maybe not. It's only 2-hit KO. I believe it's only 2-hit KOing me if it's normal Tera boom burst with throat spray. So that, I think that's like my hope here, that it's not bang 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 throat spray. And I see Tera Dragon and I'm like, bro, and he Dracos brings me down to 28. Drops the special attack on him, and I calc it right here, and I'm like, holy moly, dude. This is specs, man. I'm max, especially defensive. I get it's Dragon Tera, but Rotom is pretty bulky, man. Like, this has to be specs. So he's locked into Draco right here, has to risk another one to kill me. He's already -2. If he kills me, he's -4. He has this and Caesar in the back. I figure I can very easily try to slow Volt Switch in case he goes out to Caesar. Does not. Goes for another Draco. Hits it. Kills and is now at -4 with the specs. And at this point, I'm like, it's very obvious that he has very limited amounts of plays here. He can either stay in a click of -4 Draco, or he can switch out into Caesar. And so I kind of want to just try and preserve the differential as much as possible. The whole problem is that Noivern, like, after Caesar drops to something, like, I could either go Entei and click Sacred Fire here, or I could go into Excadrill and start doing stuff. I obviously don't want to go Latios and lock myself into one of my stabs that Caesar resists both of. So I decide to go here, and I'm just clicking like Sword Stance here because he can't kill me. He can't do any significant damage to me at -4. And if he swaps to Caesar, that is a play that is pretty obvious, and a +2 Excadrill that outspeeds Caesar can easily handle it as compared to this thing. So that is essentially what I am doing. But yeah, the whole problem is that this specs Dragon Tera Noivern is going to come back in, and it's faster than everything I have except for my Scarf Latios, so I have to make sure I position things correctly. I SD up. I'm faster here. I SD'd because I knew it would switch. And I click the high horsepower. 95. We hit that. And we remove Caesar off the map completely. That's one of his Tera captains. It did not Tera, but, you know, a Caesar gone is a Caesar dealt with, man. Comes back in, and this is where it gets a little on the prediction side. Does he predict me to swap? The obvious... Okay, so let me stop it right here. listen, the obvious play here is that I'm going to swap out because I'm afraid of Heat Wave. Or a fire move. It can be whatever. But the whole gist of it is, at this point, he cannot win whatsoever. It's all about the differential. Because either he locks Draco, Excadrill stays in and cleans up and kills him, or he clicks a fire move, and there's like 4 things that can happen. He clicks Draco, I stay in and I win. He clicks Draco, I swap out, I die, he gets a differential. He clicks a fire move, I stay in, he gets a differential. Or he clicks a fire move, I swap out, and I save a differential. So there's kind of like, we have 2 different scenarios each. 2 where he gets an extra differential, and 2 where I get to preserve an extra differential. Now, if I was him, I would try to just risk for the crit Draco. Probably. Which is why I stay in here. Because I don't think that locking a fire move... I thought the switch was obvious, and that you wanted to Draco the switch in and have a chance that if it crits, it ignores the special attack drop, and you might even get a kill on like an Excadrill if you somehow live a dragon move from my Latios. Like, at this point, the options are very limited for him, but that's how my train of thought was. I was like, it's obvious I'm going to switch out here. So I'm just going to try and stay in an attack and get a clean momentum. Worst case, I lose 1 differential here. That's like the worst thing that can happen. I click Iron Head because I don't want to risk high horsepower, obviously. It's not a flying type anymore. But Iron Head is 100% accuracy. Don't want to miss to that 95. And he stays in and clicks the fire move. So he outplays me there, and he gets the extra diff. I can't really be mad at that. I felt like that could have gone either way. And the worst, like, it's a pretty hefty... The only thing I would have switched into was the Entei. Because it's not like I'm ever going to switch in Latios, because I need this to come in clean, not die from a Draco, and hit the dragon move. I've already realized I've won here. I'm doing a little bit of antics and, you know, putting it on a little bit for the people, but Scarf Latios has this in the bag every single day of the week, and I talk and I give my honors to Entei here for picking up what is like 3 kills. 1 on Clefable, 1 on Vaporeon, and 1 on Rillaboom. Absolutely. This is like, in my opinion, this is a prime example of how you adapt to your battles. I originally had a very clear game plan with my Enamorous. Turns out, after a misplay, it does not work anymore. I strategize and I make a new plan on the fly. And it works out perfectly, man. And we grabbed the dub 2-0 thanks to a little misplay at the end there. But you know what? I'm happy with that. Whether we are in playoffs contention or not, it depends on how the other coaches do the last weeks. There's still 1 final week, no matter what. So I'll see you guys next week for LET Week 8, hopefully with some live commentary. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been your boy, Soulblaze, and as always, man, take care of yourselves, take care of your family. Thank you for listening to the post-com and being patient. And I'll try and keep the post-coms to a minimum. But for now, peace!